Whoa. Now, I don't want to startle you guys or anything, but things are getting a little strange around here. Speaking of strange though, World of Warcraft has its share of strange places and beasts, and it will be those beasts that we will take a look at today, from large winged monsters to small creatures that skulk in the dark. We are going to talk about 10 of the strangest beasts that have ever been sighted by players in Azeroth. Now me, I'm Nixxiom, you're the audience. Let's get started, man. Cue the thunder. Number 1. The Beast Men of Dressedvar. Now let me tell you something, guys. I don't mind pigs, and I don't mind people. But what I do mind, however, is when you put the two together and make pig people. And that's exactly what the Beast Men of Dressedvar are. These abominations can be seen shambling around the forests and the hills of Dressedvar. They look like someone Frankensteined together a bunch of corpses and instruments. But then, when they got to the head, they went, what could we do to improve this? Oh, I know! And they stuck a pig's head on the thing, and I don't like it. Nasty. But what absolute madman at Blizzard looked at their T for Teen game and said, you know, this needs freakish animal corpse monsters. Thank you. Thank you, strange Blizzard developer, for making me shudder every time I see an image of a pig. At least they don't squeal. Number 2, Poseidon. Okay, get this, guys. You might think I'm crazy, but I swear this is the truth. In Vashir, that's the underwater zone for you guys who haven't visited because everybody hates underwater zones, but anyway, in Vashir, in the game, there is a horse that lives in the sea, and you can ride him. What do you mean you already knew that? What do you mean it's a seahorse? Poseidon is one of those rare spawns that really is rare. There will always be those dedicated players hunting this beast down for the guaranteed mount drop of himself. Don't ask me how a creature drops itself, take it up with the boys in charge. But the Poseidon has for a long time been a desirable mount, for he could be mounted in any large body of water. Newer underwater mounts have made him somewhat less desirable, but not to collectors. You can still find people trying to hawk him off the auction house as if they just dragged him out of the ocean. And speaking of oceans, number 3. The Kraken. Hold up now. I know what you're gonna say. We see Krakens all the time in World of Warcraft. They're in our dungeons, they're in our raids, and the way things are going, they'll probably be an allied race at some point. But hear me out. Hear me out. Intrepid explorers found that off the coast of Nazmir, under the water, is a hidden refuge for turtle people, as well as for a few other odd beings. But that's not what we're here to see, dang it! Search around and you will find a big ol' horn. And if you give it a toot, prepare, my friends, to change your pantaloons. The horn's call summons forth a gigantic kraken from the depths, which will float not far in the distance and stare at you menacingly. Now, I know that krakens aren't exactly an uncommon sight in WoW, but there's something about this one that fills me with a sense of foreboding. Like at any moment, it might snatch me up and drag me down into the depths. Maybe it's because it's slightly obscured in the darkness. I don't know. Or maybe it's because I don't like tentacles. I mean, who does like tentacles, right? Don't answer that. Don't do it. Number 4, Wendigos. Have you ever heard of a Wendigo, everybody? It's a mythical beast that eats the flesh of men. Some say they are evil spirits that have possessed the body of a man and twisted it into a horrible form. The sight of one can drive people to acts of murder, greed, and cannibalism. It is said that a Wendigo grows larger when it feasts, but it's always starving. Yes, and it needs to feast upon the flesh of the innocent. For nothing can satisfy its endless hunger. It exists to devour, and it will ever hunt new victims. Yes. And here's what they look like in World of Warcraft. It's pretty stupid, right? but I will give it to him. Those Wendigos in that cave in Dunmoreau, they're pretty utterly ruthless. Anytime I level a dwarf, I dread going into that icy hellhole. Now, I don't think those fellows look like they're starving. I mean, they kind of look, they look a little chunky, at least to me. It must be all those dwarves that they're always chomping down on. Kind of like me. Number 5, the time-lost Proto-Drake. Time lost indeed! This dopey-looking flying lizard spawns in the storm peaks, but you could have fooled me. I've never seen it, and neither have many other players. If you want to even catch a glimpse of this monster, you're gonna have to sit your ass down in the snow, set up a tiny little camp with a campfire, and wait for hours. Oh, did I say hours? I meant to say days. Days! You'll waste away while waiting for this dumb drake to show its face. Just look at me. I'm wasting away. In the end, though, it's worth it, because by bringing down this beast, you are rewarded with your very own mount. That is, of course, if you get the right spawn, though, because there's nothing worse than camping out for days than seeing the shadow of a drake pass over your head, and when you look up, excited, it's that stupid blue dragon, Varagosa. Man, get the hell out of here, Varagosa! No one gives a damn about you. Oh, what? You drop a blue item? No one cares! Number 6, King Merggle. Believe it or not, there is actually a king of Murlocs. It's pretty weird, right? Who would have thought that a bunch of scum-sucking fish people would have a king? But he's real. I can confirm it. And not only is he real, but he can speak the languages of Azeroth. He's quite intellectual for a fish man. He's pretty good at chess, too. I can say that from first-hand experience. Now, I first encountered him in the Borean Tundra years ago when I... Wait, what? What do you mean he's not a Murloc? A night elf? Shit. Okay, just edit this part out of the video. Edit it out. What? Dude, it won't matter. They're too stupid to count. Just cut. Number 7, Billy McClure. What's that you say? Billy McClure is just a human child? He's not a beast in Nixxiom. That's where you're wrong, guys. For no human child could be so cruel, sadistic, and gluttonous as he is. For those of you who play Horde, or for those of you that think you're too good to level up in Elwyn Forest, you may not be familiar with this vile beast that is Billy McClure. He can be sighted at the McClure Vineyards in southern Elwyn Forest when he's not out torturing small critters. This immoral monster, he's responsible for stealing sweet Annie Stone Talon's necklace, a reminder of her deceased husband, not even valuing his prize. The little bastard dropped it and left it for the kobolds, and then, on top of that, he demands that we adventurers feed him for information on its whereabouts, and not just with any food, whatever, no, but with pork belly pies made by Aunt Stonefield herself. The Fiend! What a sick freak. I tell ya, that ain't no kid, okay? That's a demon. I know a demon when I see one, guys. I played Legion, okay? And if you go down to that vineyard, you best hope he doesn't see you, because he will possess you in a second. Number 8, the Winged Guardian. I bet you forgot this thing existed, because I did. But believe it or not, you can still catch a glimpse of one from time to time, and what a strange sight it is. With a head far too big for its body, there's no way this thing should be able to fly. I mean, it looks like it's about to drop like a rock at any moment. But guys, it ain't a rock. It's actually a cat. Now, I'm no cat expert. You know, I'm not really an expert on anything, to be honest, but I'm sure that if you stuck wings on a cat, you won't be too happy, because they're not meant to fly. Cats don't fly. That's not what they do. This was one of the earliest mounts to be sold on the Blizzard store, and it really shows. Its design is odd and not overly appealing, and of course eventually Blizzard got better, and now they know how to put only the best looking mounts on the store, you know, to entice you to spend your hard-earned money. I mean, provide a unique in-game traveling experience for a low price. Yeah. It is nice to rarely see someone riding on it though, just to remind yourself, oh yeah, that thing exists. Glad I didn't buy it. Number 9, that thing. You know, that thing. In the Twilight Highlands, that thing that looks like a Sarlacc pit from Star Wars? Yeah, that thing. It looks like a moving, cancerous growth on the planet. Now, is it a forgotten one? Maybe. That would explain why I can't think of a name. Zoroth. That's what it's called now. If you like the name, hit the like button. And if you got a better name, you can leave it in the comment section down below. But it's that thing. It's a Zorath. Anyway, you can spot this oversized horror from beneath the earth north of Thundermar. Now, similar to the Kraken from earlier, its size always filled me with a sense of foreboding. Like there was something massive below that I couldn't see. Its body could stretch for miles. We get up close and personal with the thing during some quests in the area, and well, we nearly end up being digested. So, yeah. I believe that we kill it at the end of the quest chain, but still, who knows with these Lovecraft-inspired monsters? Sometimes they're dead, other times they're just taking one of their usual millennia-long power naps. I don't know. Do you know? I don't. But what I do know is I'm not pulling that thing out of the ground, okay? Just pile a load of dirt on it and hope it's dead for good. Plant a little tombstone, here lies the thing, okay? That usually works with these creepy creatures, right? Yeah. And number 10. All right, guys. This one's a little unsettling, so everybody gather close. I don't want to have to speak too loudly. Closer. Closer than that. Not that close, you freak! All right, that's better. Here we go. The story goes that a troll hunter was dueling outside of Orgrimmar one day, and he was doing all right, you know? Not bad. Mostly wins, a few losses, but anyway, after dunking on a level 23 Tauren druid and calling his mom a fat cow, he took a stroll southward into the rocky canyons of Durotar, and it was there that he saw a sight that would shake him to his very core. As he wandered the path, he felt as if he was being watched. Every now and again, he would glance something green out of the corner of his eye. Fearing that an Alliance gank squad was in the area, he used his hunter's intuition to track humanoids. But all that appeared on his minimap was a single, supposedly non-hostile marker. He cast his gaze up at the top of the canyon, and there, looming over him, was this fearsome-looking green creature. It was somewhat familiar in form to the many orcs he would duel outside of Orgrimmar, and yet it was more feminine. Is such a thing even possible? The two locked eyes for a short time, but the creature's interest quickly faded and it turned to leave. But before it vanished, the hunter hastily took a snapshot, and we have this image right here for you guys. Now, some experts have suggested that the creature that the hunter saw was the mythical female orc player of legends. I don't know, guys. This story, the image, could be real, could be faked. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But either way, a female orc, that earns a place on any list. Guys, thank you for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. It helps me, it helps the channel, it helps the community. And if you thought the video was freaking awesome and you're excited for more, hit that subscribe button. But don't forget to hit the bell, otherwise you're not notified whenever I upload a new video. And that sucks. YouTube, I will see you guys with my next project, Beware the Wilds of Azeroth. I'll see you soon.